All right, guys, it is January 23rd, 2024, and this is Carnivore Ken Take the Golden Doodles for a Walk video, like I normally do, so I can ramble on about health-related things or whatever happens to be on my mind. So, this is mainly, yeah. My dogs are a little old, so I like to get them out, move around, and plus I don't like sitting around. Don't move it, you will lose it, and especially in us old folks, you have to keep on moving it, right? Always move, don't sit for hours on end. That is my medical advice from just normal Joe Blow. As we all know, anything I say is just my opinion, and you should take it as that, as I am not a medical doctor. All right, here we go. It's not too bad of a day today. It's not too warm, but not too cold. And it's always a challenge when I first start walking to get these dogs to behave, and then they finally get into lockstep. So here we go. What are we going to talk about today? Oh, I know what I want to mention today. I want to mention something about what I think is the #1 cause of cardiovascular disease and all diseases, and which is metabolic syndrome. I Googled today. I asked Google, Dr. Google, what percent of American citizens are metabolically healthy? And this came from a study in 2022 by the American Cardiologists Association, something like that. It might not be, I might not be right on, but basically I'm just giving you the general thing that it said, is that only 6.2%, or it might have been 6.8%, I think it was 6.2% of Americans are, and it said cardiovascular too, cardiovascular and metabolically healthy. So only 6.2 of us. So what does that tell you? Tells me us Americans aren't doing too good. I mean, what is the major problem? Why are Americans so unhealthy? Some people want to blame the pollutants and the things in our water, the things in our air, which would be the pollutants I just mentioned. Our environment, right? But I gotta tell you, when I go to the grocery store to buy my meat, because that's all I'm buying these days for myself anyways, I do not mean to judge, but I look around at other people's grocery carts when I'm checking out at the store, and people just have what in Carnivore Ken's eyes is a whole lot of garbage in their grocery carts. I'm talking box items, which, anything out of the box, God knows how many ingredients are inside those things. And we gotta remember, all those highly processed items, those food companies are not stupid. They have all, this can go for Big Sugar too. They have all kinds of people working in their systems to get people to just love the flavors and to get addicted to their food. Now, some people might say, well, people eat processed food slop because it's, they can't afford higher quality food, and that might be in some case, but you know what? It's not that expensive in my eyes to eat carnivore. If you you know, maybe you might not be able to always eat the best cuts of meat, but you know, chicken gizzards. I bought 2 packs yesterday. They were like $2.43, you know, for each pack. I mean, that's a whole meal. If you could eat a pack of chicken gizzards yourself, and there you go, meal for $2.43. You know, I'm a big eater because I work out all the time, but you know, anyways, getting back to my metabolic syndrome. You look around, all these people, I mean, cupcakes, all these different types of breads, boxes of cereals, you know, little things of Pringles. I mean, it's cart after cart after cart, and then, you know, full-fledged Coca-Cola drinks and, you know, soft drinks up the kazoo. And it's one of the biggest reasons, I believe, that only 6.2% of Americans are metabolically healthy, all right, or cardiovascular healthy. You know, I said both. That 6.2%, the American cardiologists, people that did the study in 2022, that included, you know, people with heart disease and metabolic syndrome. But it's very clear that we have a big food problem here in the United States. We got people that just love it. They're eating all that food slop up, and we got big sugar, big food, making a whole lot of money off of everybody that eats all their processed food garbage. And of course, you know, big pharma on top of that, they love it too, because, you know, now they can have you on their multiple medications, their statin drugs, which, you know, like I said, I'm not a doctor, it's not medical advice, but I'm going to tell you how I feel about statins. Statins are just poison for the body. And, you know, if you got high blood pressure, go on a carnivore diet. It will, your blood pressure will drop. It will come down into the normal ranges, in my opinion. All right. I know that may sound crazy. I have seen it for myself. And, you know, I'm not perfect. I have my problems with tasty things, like artificial sweeteners is my weakness. I like sugar, but I don't eat sugar. It has to be artificial sweeteners, but even that's not good for me. I've noticed, you know, I mentioned people with, you know, full-fledged Coca-Cola in their carts. Well, I like Coke Zero. I'll admit, I'm addicted to Coke Zeros, and I'm fighting that addiction. I try not to have them just once in a blue moon, because I check my sugar all the time, and I notice, you know, it's not sugar, but whatever artificial sweetener is being used in those Coke Zeros, I think it causes an insulin spike for me. And you know, my main goal on this carnivore diet is to get my hemoglobin A1C down to 5.6 or below. I would really like it down 5 or even into 4s, and I think in order to get it down there, I have to really tighten up on any artificial sweeteners, because right now, that's my way of attacking the problems that I am aware of, you know, which obviously I have a calcium problem, and could that have been from my long distance running? Maybe. My dog just pooped, so I gotta be a good neighbor and pick up the poop. So I'm just gonna pause this video for a minute. All right, I'm back from dog picking up poop duty, and I don't even know where I was at, but I'll just start rambling on from here. So anyways, I was talking about my own issues. You know, I do have high calcium. It could have been from long distance running, or it could be from the high cholesterol. Who knows? But in my eyes, my cholesterol is pretty normal for a carnivore or a keto person. And I got reasons why I'm not taking statins, because I definitely think they're poisonous to your body. And I believe, you know, if you're an athlete, there's, you know, statins harm every muscle cell in your body. I'm not going to take them. Let the cards fall where they may. They say, I mean, even in people that have had some type of event, I mean, you can look at the statistics yourself. Yeah, you can take a statin drug and it will probably give you, you would think either, you know, the difference in protection from taking a statin to not taking a statin. Now, these are not exact figures. You would think, well, if I don't take a statin, you know, I have a 20% chance of having an event. And if I do take a statin, I have I have a 40% chance of not having an event, right? Some big separation, that's what I'm saying. But the real separation is if you don't take a statin, you have like a 6% of having a future event. And if you do take a statin, you have like a 4% chance of not having a future event. But what I'm getting at is statins, if they have any benefit at all, it's minute. And like I said, those are just examples. They're not exact figures, but I have seen charts that I think people would be actually shocked on the real facts on how beneficial statins are really, and you know, and how the big pharma companies use statistics to make it sound like they're a lot more beneficial than what they really are. And you know, they really suppress all the bad side effects from statin drugs. So in any case, I'm not going to take them. The only thing I can really tell I have wrong with me, if it's even wrong, is, you know, the calcium. And the only reason I say if it's even wrong is, you know, I've done a lot of long distance marathons, a lot of hour on end endurance training in my prior life, and ultra marathoners commonly have high calcium. So are they all, you know, on the edge of is that all because of their high cholesterol that they have high calcium too, or is it because of the stress that they put on their cardiovascular systems? Maybe that long distance you know, cardio is just not good for you. Hey, there's a black cat up here, so my dogs are going a little crazy right now. So anyways, I really do believe that you know, there's so much money involved in everything that you have to really be selective about what you believe about health. So that black cat's not even afraid. It's just sitting right there. And maybe I get them. You see, there's my dogs, and there's a black cat standing its ground. But not even worried. Luna, oh, he got real close to it. The black cat didn't even swipe at him. It's like, maybe that cat's used to dogs. Black cat has some real green eyes. Luna, Sasha, stop it. Come on. So, anyways, let's continue with my ramblings. Yeah, so, anyways, I had a nurse call me the other day. They finally, my last calcium score was a few months back, and you know, my good old medical doctor and system I'm working with here, they finally called me like 2 days ago. Some nurse and said, well, you know, we want to talk to you about your calcium score, which I obviously got sent the results back in, I think it was back in October when I had my, you know, here it is January. This is how so busy and how far behind the medical system is here. And I said, well, I already know about my calcium score. They sent me the results. I have no calcium in my heart. Heart went up approximately 10% a year since my last one. And I said, you know, the nurse mentioned statins. And I said, well, my doctor, my cardiologist, they sent me to, confirmed if I was to go on a statin drug, I asked them point blank, what could I expect as far as my calcium going up? With the statin drug stop the calcium from going up? And my cardiologist confirmed that I could expect my calcium rates to continue going up approximately 20 to 25% a year. Well, mine only went up 10%. So, you know, I take that as a win. And I'm like, the way my brain works, well, if I take your poison pill, my calcium's still gonna go up 20 to 25% a year. What benefit I'm getting from your statin drugs then if it's not gonna stop the calcium from increasing? And so I'm not taking it. But in my mind, I'm thinking my way of slowing it down, which maybe I'm already slowing down because it's only been increasing 10%, but I'm not perfect. I gotta get a handle on those artificial sweeteners. And I had to be able to get my A1C down so I'm not pre-diabetic. So I'm gonna keep attacking that. It gives me something to attack other than just taking their pills. I don't think going on pharmaceuticals is the way to go. It has to be it's a lifestyle thing. And like I said, I openly admit I like a little joy in life, and the artificial sweeteners is one crutch that I need to fight more. If I taste something that's super sweet, chances are that might be why my A1C isn't dropping as fast as I would like. I mean, it's been dropping one tick at a time. I am 5.9 now, but and that's big improvement from 6.3 to now. But I'm still 5.9, so I'm still pre-diabetic, but it's heading in the right direction. My recent last several months, being a lot stricter as far as the eating goes, carnivore, and the month of January, I've been eating just no eggs or dairy, just animal flesh. And today's the 22nd of January. I mean, I haven't been eating eggs or anything, and my abs are getting tighter and tighter and tighter. I think I'm getting fitter and fitter and fitter, even at my old age of 64. I will see how my next result comes up. I got scheduled, and they didn't even have me down for A1C tests, even though I'm abnormal. They're just gonna pull me back in there and check my cholesterol again. Well, I'm down for an A1C test now, a hemoglobin A1C test, and my next test by them is at the end of March, and then I'll be going to see the doctor around April 5th. But I get my test results before I go see the doctor, so we can have our usual, I'm not going on a statin, doc, and you can sit here and listen to the reason why if you really have time, because I have multiple studies, and if you really want, I'll go print them up for you. or do you have a printer here, doc? I'll print them out for you, so maybe you can open your eyes. If I really truly believed there was a benefit in taking a statin, I would take a statin, but man, I don't see the benefit. And if I was to take a statin, mind you, I have no symptoms of anything. I'm feeling great all the time. And if I started taking statin, I started having aches and pains, side effects, I would be highly upset. I've seen one doctor that was talking about the muscle breakdown that you get from statins. Basically, they don't know if that can be reversed after going off statins. Some of that damage, once it happens, that's it. It happened, and you may or may not be able to recover from it, especially as you get older. So I haven't recently been digging into that as much, but I've dug into that science so much and heard so many David Diamond and all these other people talking, Blank Ben and Dr. Mason and all these PhD and researchers, that I'm pretty locked in that as far as my beliefs are about statin drugs. So Well, let's drop that now. Let's move on to the next subject. And well, it's all related, right? You know, we knew that we had the lean mass hyper responder study, and you know, which basically compared high LDL people and normal LDL people that were all healthy, and the plaque burden was basically the same. 4.8-year study. Well, one of the researchers named Nick Norowitz, he's a lean mass hyper responder, which means somebody on a keto diet that got very, very lean, and but his LDL went way up. So I got my wife calling. 1 second, let me pause this for a minute. Yeah, that was my wife, my loving wife. And God, am I lucky to have her in my life. But and my child. I'm living a good life. But anyways, let's get back to it. Nick Norowitz, which what he's a he has a PhD, and currently he is in medical school to become a doctor. He was part of the lean mass hyper responder study, as far as like one of the researchers. And you know, he got super lean from keto. His LDL went way up, and he did a study of himself. You know, what do they call it? N1 study. You know, and he wanted to see if he could drop his LDL by eating carbs, right? So he chose the carbs to eat was Oreo cookies. And mind you, he went on a statin drug too. He went on a statin drug prior to this and then went back off it, I think, if I got all the details right. And I think it was Crestor. And of course, Crestor did lower his LDL. Goes back off it, and then the test results, then he tried eating Oreo cookies. And guess what? The Oreo cookies lowered his LDL farther than the Crestor, the Avastatin statin drug. So, you know, just by eating the Oreos, and the whole point of this kind of, you know, roundabout thing from, you know, in simple terms is, when you go keto, you're and you get rid of all your glycogen and all your, you know, all your carbs and glucose in your body, reverts to you become a fat burner. So it's a whole different energy model than being a glucose carb burner, and that's why your LDL goes up, because you have more LDL because you have a higher need to be transporting the fat energy around your body, because you're not you don't have all those carbs in your system, which is a whole different, it's glucose energy based versus a fat energy model, right? And that's what increases your LDL, because something has to circulate that fat around your body for your body is now using fat for energy. Well, when you eat those carbs, your the energy isn't needed from the fat as much. That's why when he ate all those Oreo cookies, his LDL went down, because he switched back over to the carb energy model. Now I'm just talking in simple terms, which hopefully everybody can understand. It's kind of like common sense, right? Obviously, if you're a fat burner or you're using fat for energy, there might be a whole different system that your body uses. Hence, LDL goes up, and he proved it. In fact, you can Google that one. There's he put it out, and we'll see how you know, his study, he proved it. I mean, now Oreo cookies good for you? What did it do to his sugar level? All that, but it did lower his LDL. So I guess if you really need to pass a physical exam, if you had to eat a bunch of, and you were a keto, eat a bunch of Oreos, you know, start shoving them down your throat like 10 days ahead of time so you can get your LDL way low, so you can get the desired effect. You know, if you had to get have low LDL to get by your life insurance or whatever, right? But by no means does anybody really believe that eating Oreo cookies is good for you. But yeah, we got that going on, right? So yeah, so it just you know, I don't know. Whenever I need some wisdom about the carnivore diet, I listen to Dr. Shafee. I mean, he's got it down. He'll talk about the history. He'll talk about the plant toxins, the millions of plant toxins. He'll talk about how, you know, human beings have been eating meat for millions and millions of years. You know, people that ate plants back in the old days, they just ate them to you know, that was survival food. It was the meat that, you know, all the wealthy and, you know, the people that knew what was good for you was eating. And then he goes over, you know, the Inuits that, you know, before they were westernized and eating all the garbage they are now, they didn't have any heart disease or anything. When they were just eating their, Inuit, you know, Inuits are from like, what, northern Canada or whatever, and, you know, eating all that whale blubber and all that, and they hardly had any cardiovascular, if any cardiovascular disease, until they became westernized, you know. And then of course you got all the you know, the proofs. They want you to eat all these seed oils, right? Canola, vegetable, even olive oil, all this stuff, but the seed oils especially, right? Vegetable oils, canola. And they can tell when they came out, cardiovascular diseases increased right around at that same time. So what does that tell you? You know, they say, you know, some of those vegetable oils, that was just prior to them wanting to put it into the human diet. It was just industrial oil that they used to lubricate machines or whatever. Then they decide, hey, this stuff is edible, and cheap. How about putting it into, you know, selling it to humans to use for cooking oil and, you know, food ingredients and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's from vegetables. It's got to be good for you. Well, it doesn't look that way. Why did cardiovascular disease increase? And it's not because of the red meat, folks. No. I mean, I put out on video the other day when, since like 2002, red meat consumption went down and chicken and all that went up. And when chicken consumption went up, red meat consumption went down. Guess what's been going up since 2002? That's right, cardiovascular disease. So go figure. My bottom line is not the meat. So all right, so what have I had to eat today so far? So far today, I woke up, I had some sausage, a couple pieces of bacon for breakfast. I thought I'd have a little fat, put myself into ketosis, and I did have a little chicken breast, and because I thought, just wanted to make sure I'm not getting too much fat, because, you know, if your stools are a little loose, not too much information here, but as a carnivore, if your stools get too loose, that means you're probably getting too much fat, so you go the opposite direction a little bit. So you got, you know, I mean, the carnivore diet isn't perfect, you still have to tweak it here and there. And then what else did I have? I had a hamburger. Of course, just the patty. I would never eat that sinful bread. You know, so in no way there. And anyways, I worked out this morning in the garage, did upper body and abs with my neighbors, and I had a great workout. My wife, she's at work and she wants to go do legs tonight at 5 p.m. at the YMCA. So I am gonna do a 2 exercise day. And we're going to a different YMCA, so she wanted me to go there with her. So I got that all planned out. And that's about it. I'm just, been doing my cold plunges, much. I'm sure if you look at my videos, you'll see I'm a big cold plunger now, and I think that might be really helping me go to the next level. And tomorrow morning I'll be doing sprints. And you think, well, how the heck can you do all this exercise and not do nothing else in life? Or do you do anything else in life? Well, sure I do. I edit videos, and I'm not very good at that. So I'm still working on that. And by the way, if you like and follow and smash that bell, you'll help me build my channel. I really appreciate it. And if I see that this channel is actually going somewhere, maybe I'll work on being more tech savvy. I am, my whole channel is just based on, senior citizen, old 64-year-old guy that's retired, and I'm trying to show people that you don't, you don't have to have a bunch of limitations. I don't. If I wanted to do a half marathon, a marathon, whatever, I would do it. I have nothing that holds me back, but that's because of my lifestyle that I chose. I think some people have this idea in their mind that they start letting themselves go, and they just start feeling these aches and pains all over their body, and they think that's this normal aging process. But is it normal, or is that westernized normal? I mean, I think we're our own worst enemies. You can still keep your you don't have to have your testosterone go down in nothing. You don't have to have your prostate BPH and prostate get all enlarged. There's lifestyle interventions that will help you with that. I know doctors are there for a reason, but I think if you do the right lifestyle things, that your need for a doctor is a lot less. You're still gonna get sick. There's still viruses out there. You still, if you've been walking the bad path for a long time, unfortunately, you might have caught, cardiovascular or some type of cancer or some need. You might have some genetic thing, some genetic disease that you have to use medical intervention. I mean, I'm not saying doctors aren't good for anything, but I think some of the things that, some of the diseases that come on because of lifestyle, we can fix a lot of those if you catch it soon enough. Like, who knows with my high calcium, if am I going to be able to keep on going and living a good life? We'll see. I feel great right now. That's why the doctors can't, plug my nose and pop pills in my mouth to get me to swallow their prescriptions. Because I feel great. I'm not taking any drugs. And anyways, I think I did enough rambling for today. I do have to get these dogs. I'm gonna pick up my pace. I gotta get back to the house, cook a little dinner, then off to the YMCA for a little workout tonight. So, all right, I will let you go. Enjoy. Carnivore Ken out.